Here's Chris Agar with the sports.
Thanks, guys. The football team took their offensive show on the road again this week against Iona, but this time the defense had to step it up a bit. Here are the highlights. At the start of the first quarter, the Wolverine offense looking just as sharp as it did 2 weeks ago, as Shane McSweeney finds Mike Penwell for a 16-yard gain. This big completion set up the first Wesley touchdown later on in the drive, as McSweeney finds John Lanowat in the end zone. This 8-yard score put the Wolverines up 7-0, and it was the start of a huge day for the Wolverine offense. On the next Wesley possession, McSweeney finds Larry Beavers for a 20-yard gain. This impressive catch and run put the Wolverines in great field position at the Frostburg State 4. Later on in the possession, at the start of the second quarter, Mike Penwell takes the handoff and busts up the middle for a 2-yard touchdown, giving Wesley a 14-0 lead. On the ensuing kickoff, Frostburg State looking to get back into it, but Terrell Monroe's going to spoil things by fumbling the return. Wesley recovers at their own 27. That turnover sets up this 1-yard touchdown run by Aaron Jackson. Wesley goes up 21-0. Then the defense took over. Frostburg State marched right down the field back to the Wesley 1. They couldn't get it in on 1st and goal. 2nd and goal, they're going to try to punch it in on the ground again, but instead of going forwards, they go backwards. They lose 2 yards, so they face 3rd and goal from the 3. They decide to pass it to change things up a bit, but Jeremiah Santiago makes a huge play by breaking it up in the end zone. On 4th and goal, instead of kicking the field goal, Frostburg State goes for the touchdown, and the pass is incomplete, so Wesley takes over on downs at their own 3-yard line. First play of the drive, McSweeney finds Larry Beavers for a huge 44-yard gain, giving Wesley tons of breathing room. Later in the possession, McSweeney finds John Lanowat in the end zone again for a 17-yard touchdown reception, putting Wesley up 28-0. They would enter halftime leading by 4 scores. Third quarter is just more of the same. First Wesley possession in the second half. McSweeney finds Lanowat again for an 18-yard gain. Later on this possession, Wesley takes the field goal to go up 31-0. Late in the third quarter, Aaron Jackson makes 2 big plays. First, this 20-yard reception. Then 2 plays later, he makes another catch and run, this time for 16 yards. These 2 big plays would set up another huge play for Wesley. At the start of the fourth quarter, in the same possession, McSweeney finds Larry Beavers on the screen pass, and then Beavers is going to make a couple of moves and then run right down the field for a 40-yard touchdown. Wesley goes up 38-0. They would win 38-6. McSweeney completed 14 of 17 passes for 289 yards and 3 touchdowns. Mike Penwell added 89 yards on the ground with 28 attempts and a touchdown, and John Lanowat was the top receiver with 65 yards on 4 receptions and 2 touchdowns. After the game, I spoke with starting quarterback Shane McSweeney.
It's a big stepping stone to show like the rest of the teams that we can score and our defense is good, so we're going to have to keep the ball rolling next games.
After his impressive performance on the field Saturday, Sean Matthews was named ACFC Defensive Player of the Week. The Wolverines are currently ranked 11th in the polls. In other sports news, the field hockey team defeated Roanoke in their last game 3-0. Their next contest is against Juniata on October 23rd. The men's soccer team increased their winning streak to 3 games after they shut out Washington 2-0. They look to stay hot on October 18th when they face Valley Forge Christian. The women's soccer team also won their last game in a shutout, beating Penn State Abington 3-0. They will play Valley Forge Christian on October 18th. Both soccer games are at home, so you should come out and support your teams. The volleyball team is in a slump, however. They lost their last match 3-0 against St. Mary's, making their current losing streak 7 matches. They look to break out of the funk on October 16th when they play Gallaudet. The football team has their homecoming game this week against Apprentice School. Here's a short preview. The schedule makers were tough on the Wesley Wolverines this year. In a season of 10 games, only 3 are played at home. This means the bleachers are frequently empty. But now, Wesley is prepping for the biggest home game of the year, homecoming. Homecoming is a huge event for all students, so it would seem that the players would be easily distracted. But the team is looking at the big picture instead.
We lost our first game to Del Val. It's become increasingly important for us to take a sense of urgency every time we keep on the field. So when we talk to the team, they know, if we're going to put ourselves in a postseason position, we need to keep winning.
But how can it be considered just another game? After all, the Wolverines will only play on this field 3 times this season. So the fans will be ready to see their team in action. With a limited number of contests at Scott Miller Stadium, the factor of added pressure to win this game might be coming into effect. But if a team wishes to be successful, isn't there pressure to win every game?
We always want to please the home fans. I mean, if that's added pressure, then it's added pressure. But I think, we have pressure on, if we're going to be a good football team, we have to win each game. I think that's the pressure we have.
Wesley's looked sharp so far this season, so hopefully they can keep their hot streak going. For WCTV, I'm Chris Agar. That does it here from the sports desk. Back to you guys.
Here's Shannon Higgins with the weather. Hi, I'm Shannon Higgins for WCTV's Weekly Weather. Let's take a look at the Doppler radar for this week. Coming in from Chicago, we're going to get some rain showers over to us, but by the time they get there, they'll have been evaporated. So don't worry about homecoming this weekend because there'll be a little bit of clouds, but no rain. So let's take a look at our weekly weather, our 6-day forecast for this week. On Thursday, it's going to be sunny with a high of 78 and a low of 77. And on Friday, here come those clouds because it's going to be mostly cloudy with a high of 62 and a low of 45. On Saturday, the sun's coming out where it's going to be a little bit more sunny with a high of 60 and a low of 52. On Sunday, it's going to be sunny with a high of 66 and a low of 63. On Monday, it's going to be partly sunny with a high of 71 and a low of 67. And on Tuesday, that sun's out again with a high of 63 and a low of 58. This is Shannon Higgins with your WCTV weather.
You know the value of $1. Our Wesley College students show us and tell us how they know the value of $1.
Away at college, everyone is responsible for learning how to manage and budget their money on their own. At Wesley College, the Wolverine Stop and Java City are 2 places where most money managing takes place. Student Nikita Foster explains her personal budget.
We try not to spend more than $10 a day on food and gas.
Then the ATM is a big help for funding students like Joe.
College definitely teaches you how to budget money, spend it wise.
Lastly, there's Java City, where Janita and Jocelyn enjoy a quick refreshment break from their classes.
Mine definitely here, but
Because I do.
I spend most of my money at Wolverine Stop.
Though those were the most popular, it's important to remember that the bookstore is always the most mandatory.
Well, that's it, Wesley students. Don't forget about those homecoming events.
Laser tag, the block party, the barbecue, the homecoming dance. Please make sure that you're a part of the celebration this year.
You guys should have a safe weekend. And I'm Whitney Towns.
And I'm Chardonnay Wood.
Stay classy
And stay sassy. Marvin, I hope you feel better too. Mwah.